Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Donjo part number ST-161 622. This is a typical 4 7/8 strike plate in a black powder coated finish. That's all that this is. So let's take some basic dimensional properties and we'll talk about what it's used for. Overall height, it's 4 7/8. That's an ANSI strike, ANSI, American National Standards Institute. There's a particular use for a strike like this. We'll talk about it. It's going to be 1.25 up here. It's going to be about 1 13/16 here. But there are really only two important dimensions. That, 4 7/8, and then the lip length, which is measured from the center line of the screw hole to the edge of the lip. It appears to be about 1.25 inches. So this strike you would call a 4 7/8 strike, but it's really important to know the lip length is 1.25 inches. Okay, Donjo does a tremendous job on extended lip strikes, like out to 4 inch, and we'll talk about why you might use that in a moment. This has a single hole in it. This would be appropriate for just a cylindrical or tubular lock sort of prep, a latch. You know, just with a single hole, that would be typical and normal, right in the center line of the unit. That is appropriate for applications where you have a lock whose center line of the lock and the center line of the strike are the same dimension. You know, they're not, one is not offset to the other like a mortise lock would be. So let's talk about why you might use this. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Why you might end up using this is because you most likely have a steel frame. That's just the bottom line. Black has been a popular color. The year is almost 2022. Black has been popular for 3, 4, 5 years. You know, and finishes just, a particular finish gets really popular and it hangs there for a while and then kind of goes away. Now, 100 years ago, black was the common finish. It was in everyone's catalog. More than one type of black as well. It would be bright black japanned or dead black japanned is what you'd have. But today, black is pretty popular. Today, it's being powder coated. So this is an electric process where paint is, you can kind of see the texture there. Some companies call that suede. Fancy marketing term, I think, for powder coating. You impart a charge onto the base material. The opposite charge you impart into the paint itself. It's dry and you spit it at it and it sticks on, and it's really a tough, durable paint. It would be pretty good for a strike plate, in my opinion, because it is going to constantly take the latch bolt hitting it. Why you might use this is you probably have a steel hollow metal frame. A hollow metal frame will be typically 4 7/8. Why is that the case? Well, it's the case because onto that hollow metal frame, putting the strike at a standard location from the top down, or however you might want to measure it, for a given manufacturer is going to permit you to install different types of hardware. Deadbolts, cylindrical or tubular, mortise locks. You don't have to reposition the center line of anything when you have a taller strike. And here's our first leap forward. The height of the strike is by design. Technically, if you were to take a mortise lock and try to fit that latch bolt in this strike, if you had a deadbolt function, it would hit up here. So what they do for mortise locks is they scooch this down a little bit, gives them enough room for the deadbolt hole up here, and voila, that same door and frame combination, or that same frame, can work with a door for a mortise lock prep or a door for a cylindrical lock prep. That's why the 4 7/8 is by design, and that's what that is. Now the lip length. 1.25 inches is a good Swiss Army knife size, and the formula for determining lip length, and you should always think about lip length whether you are just a homeowner or you're a industry distributor like I am, or you're an architect, a designer, a general contractor, an owner, whoever you are, lip length needs to be calculated. That dimension is half of the door thickness plus the trim plus 1/4 inch if it's a curved lip strike, or plus 1/8 inch if it's a flat lip strike. So generally in a hollow metal application, 1.25 inches is just, in fact it's a little bit long. It could be a little bit shorter. 1/2 inch and 3/4 thick door is 7/8. plus, let's just say, 1 inch of inset. It's really a little bit less. Plus a 1/4 inch. That's where 1 1/4 comes in. It could be 1 3/16, so that's a standard for one manufacturer. But 2 variables there, inset and clearance. Now in your mind's eye, what if you had brick mold? That's 3/4 thick. Okay, 1/2 inch and 3/4 is 7/8. Plus the inset, it's a wood door and frame, so there is no inset, so that's 0. Plus 3/4 inch. Well, now you're at 1 5/8. Plus a 1/4 inch for a curved lip strike, so now you're at 1 7/8. So you're probably going to use a 2-inch lip length there. So whatever the application is, always be thinking about what lip length you need. 1/2 of the door thickness, plus the inset, plus the clearance, plus a 1/4 inch if it's a curved lip strike like this one is. Okay. This will include a couple of combination screws, machine and wood style flat undercut head. Flat undercut head is to allow a relatively larger diameter screw to sit flush on a relatively a relatively thin piece of material like this. Let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at the supporting information. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Here is the strike that we are looking at. Let's take a look at the extended description. They say it's 13 gauge steel, 1 1/4 by 4 7/8. I don't think they're referring to the lip length here, but we'll see if the template reveals that. When you buy one, we'll ship you one. Matte black finish. Let's look at the template. Yeah, this is common for Danjo not to give the important dimension. I mean, you can certainly make a very strong conclusion as to what it is. 1/2 inch and 1/4 minus 1 13, 27, 30 of an inch, if that's what that is. So 1 27, 30 minus 5/8. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. 5/8 would be the lip length. Other dimensional properties are here should that be important to you. They refer to some other finishes. Brass plated, dark brown powder coated, and a silver powder coat. Obviously they can do this in stainless steel. That part number would be ST161, whereas the 261 is the steel base. Let's take a look. Yeah, black, brass, dark bronze, and silver. ST161, that should be the stainless steel version, which is probably far more common. Does not appear to be the case. And I did hop around to find the solution. The difference is I went over to the catalog. They're saying the 261 is steel brass plated. The 161, these digits mean non-ferrous. So it's hard to really know what they're dealing with here, but this is definitely not magnetic. This could be powder coated brass. 161. Yeah, they're using non-ferrous part numbers here. So I think the 261 is going to be steel base and the 161 is going to be non-ferrous. So actually what we have here is a 161 strike. But that would be the primary difference between the two, the base material. Yeah, I was right, I guess, in the sense that the non-ferrous base material would be the 161. Okay, now the template we've gone over, that product catalog that's there, that's where I hopped to, and that will allow us to review all things strike plate related from Danjo. We can take a look at those other strike plates. Standard ANSI, just 4 7/8. That's what you're looking for there. a chart of their sizes, all their line art of the different strikes. Full lip strikes here, extended lip strikes now in a 2 3/4 tall. This is an uncommon strike. A 2 1/4 full lip strike, that's pretty common in extended lips. Extended ANSI strikes, not unheard of. If you have a cement block or a precast building and you have welded frames that have been bolted in with existing wall anchors and you have drive-it on the outside, and they've brought that up to the face of the frame, you might need an extended lip strike. Extended lip T-strikes, wood frame applications. This is a 4 7/8 strike with a long cutout. You can use that for mortise locks, and they'll also occasionally use that if you have a small mismanagement between the center line of a lock and the center line of the strike on the frame. If you're off in it, 1 inch or so, going from this strike and preventing you from cutting that out just to one that's got a long cutout in it might save you that trouble. This will be appropriate for Schlage locks. Maybe it won't be original, but it should work. It's not perfectly ideal. In mortise locks with deadbolt functions, the alignment of the deadbolt prep above, if let's say this is the deadbolt prep, and the alignment of the latch should not be the same. They do that here to make it non-handed, but in my opinion, in a proper scenario, the deadbolt will be slightly biased in this direction. And that's because when you pull the door closed, the weather stripping is going to push the door back away from the face of the stop. You want to then throw the deadbolt, and you want that scooched over ever so slightly to allow that deadbolt to go in. And you'll notice that from certain manufacturers, and that's precisely why they do that. These composite generic strikes from companies who just wham bam, kick them out kind of stuff, they're not taking it to that level that would make every one of these strikes handed. Other strikes that are here, roller latch strikes and full lip and T strikes, security strikes, 8, 12, 18 inch tall. If you've got some substantial damage to a wood frame, something like this could save the day. We sell them occasionally for that purpose. Heavy duty strikes, more screws, longer screws, larger pieces of metal. Double lip strikes. What is that for? Well, I'll tell you what that's for. Obviously, it's for a door that can double act, but where you will see this is in rescue hardware, and we've all at some point been there in a hospital room. In the patient room, there's a bathroom, and if you ever take notice of that bathroom, that door will generally swing in. However, it will generally also have the functionality to swing out as well, and that's called a rescue operation, where you can flip a rotator functionality in a strike like this and swing the door out. And while these aren't rescue strikes because they lack that functionality, rescue strikes look like this. This would just be for a door that happens to double act, which isn't very common, but you do see it occasionally. You could have a door to a kitchen and it's not in a path of emergency egress and it double acts, but there's a deadbolt on it because after hours they want to secure that opening. They don't want people going into the kitchen after it's been cleaned, but that door double acts normally during the day. Other types of strikes are adjustable, so you can adjust the strike in and out. Thimble strikes. Fun fact about thimble strikes, there is no such thing as a fire-rated thimble strike. That's when you have a steel door and a steel frame, and all you can do is drill a 1-inch diameter hole into the jamb. That's what that's for. If you have a wood stud back there, you've got a screw to secure it. A template, if you have need for a custom strike, they will make you anything you need. Be mindful they're not inexpensive when they're going to custom manufacture you a strike. Finally, there is a link below this video as seen here to the manufacturer's page, where you can pull up not only all of the Donjo products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website as seen here, as well as a link to the full product catalog, that same full product catalog broken down into several subsections. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've made it this far into this video, you must be determined to see it through to the end, and we appreciate your hanging in there with us and watching this entire video. It means a lot. It takes a lot of work to create these videos in the sense that, you know, it's time taken away from doing other things. However, the advantage for me personally of creating these videos is the fact that it does allow myself to either learn about something new, to reacquaint myself with something, or to reinforce what I believe that I already know. Any comments that you might leave down below would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. If you know the name Danjo at all, you probably do because of their wraparound plates or possibly their latch protectors. But as you just saw, they have a quite comprehensive offering of strike plates, hinges, pivots, trim and auxiliary hardware, accessory hardware like signage, crash, yes indeed, crash chains, door guards, chain guards is what I was thinking of, and etc. So pretty typical material. If you have any questions on the Danjo ST, I think this is a 161 actually, or any other Danjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. And just before we wrap this up, I wanted to show you some images that we have. There's the strike itself. A little bit of a close-up view. A little bit of a side view. The back side. And then the fastener package. There we go. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.